so we shall see what is machine learning, types of machine learning, and what can be done using machine learning. Okay, so let us continue our journey from the machine learning. Okay, so I hope you are all with me. So now let us say, what is machine learning? So if we go and see what is machine learning, what is the definition of machine learning and all. So this is the definition of machine learning. Yes. Okay, so generally, I won't say it is a definition, just it's a conceptual explanation. That's it. So if you see what is machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence which provides machines the ability to learn automatically and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. Okay. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence which provides machines the ability to learn automatically and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. Okay. So many people think that machine learning is a pre-programming thing. Based upon the pre-programming thing, it will work. But actually, that is not the scenario. It is not any pre-programming thing. Okay. So machines, like if you see here, guys, on the screen, you can see a boy. Okay. So go to our childhood days. What our childhood days, what will happen? They will show us the image of apple and says that that is apple. They will show us images of cherry and says that that is cherry, and they show the image of orange and say that this is orange. So what we do, we feed the data in our mind. Okay, so we feed the data, and once if we see the image of cherry, we recognize yes, this is cherry. If we see the image of apple, we recognize it as apple. If we see the image of orange, we recognize it as orange. Okay, so like how we learn from our experience. We learn from our experience, seeing the images of our apples, cherries, oranges, and all. How we learn from our experience, this machine learning also learns from the data. So, what we do, we give data to the model, and the model will understand the patterns inside the data and it will perform accordingly. So, that is how the machine learning concept will go. Okay. So if you see what is machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence which provides machines the ability to learn automatically and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. Okay. So that is what machine learning is. And then if you see what are the various types of machine learning. Okay. So we have various types of machine learnings. So if you see the first type of machine learning is called as supervised learning. The second type of machine learning is called as unsupervised learning. And third type of machine learning is called as reinforcement learning. Okay. So supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. So what is supervised learning? Okay. So we had seen what are the different types: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So, what is supervised learning? What is unsupervised learning? And what is reinforcement learning? Let us see. Okay. So, supervised learning, if you see here, supervised learning is a method in which we teach us the machines using labeled data. So, what we do? Supervised learning is a method in which we teach the machines using labeled data. So, what is the meaning of labeled data here? Okay. So, generally in our childhood days, what happens? They show the image of apple and say that this is apple. They show that image of cherry and we recognize that is a cherry, right? So, labeled data means giving some guidance. Okay. So, see here in our childhood days, what the teachers used to do, they used to sit with us, they used to guide us to learn the things. So, supervised learning is a method in which machines, okay, we teach the machines using labeled data. That means there will be guidance from us to the supervised learning. So, unsupervised learning, okay, the machine is trained on unlabeled data without any guidance. Okay. So, for example, when we grow up, okay, so childhood, what happens? Our teachers used to sit with us, they used to guide us and all. But once we grow up, what happens? We try to learn things on our own. So in unsupervised learning, the machine is trained on unlabeled data without any guidance. Okay. So I will practically explain you also what is the meaning of labeled data, taking an example, and what is the meaning of guidance and all. And without guidance also, I will explain you. Don't worry. Okay. So that is what supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So if you see what is reinforcement learning, we have third type of machine learning, which is called as reinforcement learning. So what is reinforcement learning exactly? Suppose think guys, you are dropped in an isolated place. For example, think that you are dropped in an isolated place. So what happens initially? You will get panic. Suppose you are dropped in an isolated island. So initially, what you will do, you will get panic, right? So what will happen with you? You will get panic, and you don't know how to come out of that one. Or otherwise, what you will do, you will look out on your own the routes to come out, or you will plan something with where you will try to get out of that island. Okay. So if you were able to successfully get off that island, that means you are successful person. If you're not, that means you are unsuccessful. So reinforcement learning is such type of learning. Okay, so in reinforcement learning, an agent interacts with its environment by producing actions and discover errors and rewards test. So, an example, if you take Tesla car, okay, so if it sees red signal, it has to stop. If it sees green signal, it has to go. If it is not performing accordingly, that means it is not up to the mark. Okay, so reinforcement learning is such learning. So in reinforcement learning, an agent will interact an agent will interact with the environment by producing actions and discovering rewards. Okay, so this is what reinforcement learning is. Next, if you see why we use this supervised learning. Okay, yes, supervised learning is why, for what purpose we use supervised learning, for what purpose we use unsupervised learning, for what purpose we use reinforcement learning. Because this supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, they are used to do certain tasks. Yes. Okay, so now what shall we do is we shall see for what type of problems we use this supervised learning and unsupervised learning. That is what we do. So, or else, let us see what type of problems does a supervised learning. So now, guys, till now, what we had seen the definition of machine learning, the definition of supervised learning, definition of unsupervised learning, and then definition of reinforcement learning. So now, let us see what type of problems can we deal with supervised learning. Okay, so what type of problems can we deal with supervised learning? So let us, for some time, what shall we do is let us keep this unsupervised learning aside and reinforcement learning aside. Okay, so let us mainly discuss regarding this supervised learning. So what we are going to discuss regarding supervised learning now is using supervised learning, what type of problems we can deal with. So using supervised learning, guys, we can deal with two types of problems. One is regression and another is classification. So to remember, using supervised learning, we can deal with two type of problems. So one is regression problem. Second one is classification problem. Okay. So what I will do is let me explain you clearly what is regression means, what is classification. Okay. So that is what we are going to do now. So we are going to see what is regression and what is classification. Okay. So come here. Let us, for that, what shall we do is let us open. I guess you might have understand the scenario. So what is the scenario? We are going to see the problem statements, what we can deal with regression. Okay. Supervised learning. So we can deal with two types of problems. Come here. So If you see, let me take a fresh page. So come here, guys. So I am explaining you regarding supervised learning. So do remember. So supervised learning. So supervised learning deals with two types of problem statements. Okay. So first, it deals with regression. Second thing, it deals with classification. So supervised learning deals with what type of problems, guys? First one is regression, second one is classification. So now let us discuss in detail what is regression. So let us discuss in detail what is regression. So before going to discuss what is regression, let me discuss a problem statement. I have okay. So problem statement one. What is the problem statement one? I want to predict how many runs India will score. So I want to predict how many runs India will score. This is my first problem. I want to predict. So what I will do, I will take past 10 matches data. For example, on 1st May, India matches against Australia and India has scored 230 runs. On 5th May, India matches again against Australia and India has scored 280 runs in 50 overs. Okay, consider. On 6th May or consider on 8th May, India matches against England and India scored 290 runs. On 10th May, India matches against South Africa and India had scored 190 runs. On 12th May, India match against South Africa, India scored 310. On 1st June, India matches against Sri Lanka, India had scored 350 runs. On 10th June, India matches against Pakistan, India had scored 280 runs. Okay. So on 15th June, India match against Sri Lanka, India had scored 320 runs. Okay. So what I'm doing, I will take past data, past few months data. And what I am doing, so today match is there, today 21st July. So I am taking past 10 matches data and I am predicting that India will score 260 runs. So this is first problem. So I used machine learning. So in machine learning, I use supervised learning. In supervised learning, I use regression. And I predicted that on 21st July, India will score 260 runs. Okay. Now I have a second problem. Second problem statement. Problem statement. What is the problem statement two? I want to predict the stock value of TCS companies. Okay. So this is only an example, guys. Okay. So first is on 1st July, its value is around, it's only an example, 150. On 2nd July, it is around 120. On 3rd July, it is around 170. On 4th July, it is around 121. On 5th July, it is around 125. On 6th July, it is around 130. 7th July, it is around 118. 8th July, it is around 120. 9th July, it is around 121. Consider. So what I'm doing, I'm taking past 10 days data and I'm predicting using machine learning, using supervised learning, using regression. I'm predicting TCS stock value is 123. So I have predicted this. So this is my problem statement 2. Fine. Next, I have another problem. Problem statement 3. Problem statement 3. So what is the problem statement? I want to predict the gold price for the month of August. For the month of August 2026, I want to predict. So what I am doing? So I had taken November gold price 2025, which is around 1 lakh, 1.2 lakhs. December gold price of 10 grams 2025 as 1.3 lakhs. And then January 2026 gold price is around 1.25 lakhs. Okay, February gold price 2026 is around 1.3 lakhs. Okay, and then March 2026 gold price is around 1.35 lakhs. And then April gold price 2026 is around 1.32 lakhs, something like that. So, like that, I had taken past data and I predicted using machine learning, using supervised learning, using regression. I predicted gold price in the month of August is going to be around 1.37 lakhs. Okay, so these are the three problems. Fine. So we had seen three problems. First problem is I want to predict the score, how many runs India will score. Second problem statement is what is the stock value of TCS going to be. Third problem statement is what is the gold price going to be. So if you observe all these problem statements, so how many runs India is going to score? What is the output? 260. What is 260? It is a number. Okay. So come here. What is TCS stock value going to be? We predicted it is going to be 123. So what is this? This is a number. Okay. And if you come here, what is the gold price going to be in the month of August? So what is this? This is a number. So in all cases, in all three cases, what we have taken past numerics. See, past scores, which is a number, stock value, which is a number, gold price, past data, which is in the form of a number. And what we are predicting a numeric value here. What we are predicting a stock price. What is this value? It is a numeric value. Runs scored by India. What is this value? It is a numeric value. Okay. So regression means predicting a numeric value. So predicting a numeric output is regression. So what is regression? Predicting a numeric code. Numeric code is regression. Okay. Next, if you see using supervised learning, what type of problems we can do is one thing is we can sort out regression problems. So by now you got an idea what is regression. Regression means solving a numeric output or predicting a numeric output is nothing but regression. So now let us see what is classification. Okay, so now let us see what is classification. So come here. So let us see what is classification is. So I told you machine learning, supervised learning again two types, regression. Second one is classification. So classification. So in classification, so I have a problem statement. Yes, I have a problem statement one. So what is my first problem statement? I want to find out whether Modi will win the election or not. Okay, win the election or not. Suppose we have only two possibilities over here. Yes, no. So when you change a test to no, yes means one, no means zero. So what is the possibility of output zero or one? Suppose I want to know whether India will win the match or not. India will win the match or not. So if India will win the match or not. So what we do again, we will take past 10 matches data. So 1st June, India won the match. Won the match means one. Consider 3rd June, India lost the match 0. 4th June, India won the match. So like that, we have taken past 10 matches data and we have predicted India will win the match. Yes, India will win the match. That means one. Okay, fine. This is the problem statement, second problem statement. If you see this first problem statement and second problem statement, we are finding an output which is in a form of a binary form. That is 0 and 1. So finding a binary output is nothing but classification. So what is that? It is nothing but classification. Okay. So very simple, guys. Finding a binary output is classification. Finding a numeric output is regression. Okay. So both this, what you need to remember is both this classification and regression, they comes under supervised learning. So what do they do? They comes under supervised learning. So supervised learning, it deals with two types of problem statements. One is regression and another is classification. Regression means finding a numeric output. Classification means finding a binary output. So this is what regression and classification is. And next, we have something called as unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, we have something called as association and clustering. Okay. So this association and clustering, we shall discuss in the next session. Yes. Okay.